This is a guided body scan mindfulness practice. So to begin, it might be best for you to find a comfortable position that you can hold for the period of about 20 minutes, which is how long this practice is going to be. You might choose to lie on the floor, perhaps on a mat or a blanket, and perhaps covered if it feels a bit cold with another blanket, or you might like to sit for this practice on a chair that feels comfortable and you feel fully supported. And when you have found the position that feels best for you, you might like to close your eyes, or if you prefer to keep them open, and perhaps just gently focus the eyes on something in front of you, perhaps on the floor, just allowing the eyes to be at rest and blink normally. And so we're going to start this body scan practice by being aware of our feet, whether they're on the floor, flat on the floor, or whether we can feel the contact of the heels on the ground beneath us. And if we're lying down, being aware of all the contact of our body with the floor. And just allowing ourselves to relax into the ground, to let go a little. We might find as the practice continues that we can relax further and that our muscles become softer as we practice. This might happen for us today, or it might happen next time we practice. And so we take the mind's attention to the breath. And we're going to follow the breath, just paying attention to it as it comes into the body and as it leaves the body. And with this focus, we are bringing ourselves fully present into the here and now. So just taking a few moments to follow the breath, to bring ourselves here. Perhaps to settle the mind a little before we begin the body scan. And now taking our mind's focus to the feet. And you might like to visualize your feet in your mind's eye, or just focus your mind's attention on the sensations of the feet. And, to start with, that might be just very vague sensations that you can detect, and that's fine, that's okay. Or you might be really aware of, say, the temperature of your feet, of how they feel, the muscles, the bones, the skin. So just being as fully aware of the feet as you can be at this moment. Perhaps being aware of their stillness. And to just explore, just allow any sensations to come to you from your feet. And if you feel that your mind wanders from this focus, just bring it back to the breath, just for a couple of breaths, to refocus yourself on the practice. And then go back to the feet, sensing what you can in this part of the body. And from the feet, we're going to move up to the lower legs. Being aware of the lower legs right now. We can feel in that part of the body. We might be aware of the temperature of the legs, what it feels like to have that contact with the floor, perhaps if we're lying down. We might be aware of any tiredness in the legs. Any sensations that you can detect, tired muscles, sore muscles, that sense of stillness. And just allowing the breath to be there, to breathe into the legs if you want to. And the out-breath being a natural letting go. So you might find as the practice continues that you become more aware of that out-breath being not just a letting go of the breath, but also an opportunity to let go of tension. And returning to the natural breath whenever you need to, if you feel that your mind is wandering away. And so now moving up to the upper legs, to the thighs. And again, you might want to visualize the thighs in the mind's eye, or just direct your mind's attention to what the upper legs feel like, what they feel like with the contact of the floor or the chair that you're sitting in. Perhaps the sensation of your clothes on your skin. Whatever you can detect there in your upper legs, just being as open to whatever is there as you can be. Using perhaps that in-breath to focus your attention on the legs, and then the out-breath as a way of letting go. A very natural letting go that takes place on the out-breath. Letting go of the air in the breath, but also a letting go of any tension that you hold. And if we feel we need to come back to the breath to follow it for a little bit, if we're finding it hard to maintain that focus on the body, then just be with the breath for as long as you need to. Maybe it's a couple of breaths, maybe a few breaths, just to help anchor you into the present moment. And then from the upper legs, We're moving to the back, and we're going to start with the lower back. Up to the waist, and we're just going to focus our minds on the lower back. What can we find there? How is the lower back right now? Is there any tension, any tightness or pain in the muscles? Whatever we find, we want to be open to it, to exploring it, to being with it, just as it is right now, not wanting anything to change at the moment, but just being with how the body is. And so using that breath to maintain the focus, and also using that out breath in particular to let go, to release. And now moving to the middle part of the back, from the waist up to the bottom of the shoulder blades. And again, checking in with this part of the body, using the breath to direct our attention towards it on the in-breath, and allowing that out-breath to just enable your back to just sink into the chair or into the floor. And to be curious and kind as we explore the back. And coming back to the natural breath whenever we need to help us to keep that focus on the here and now. Just allowing the breath to be natural, allowing us to just observe it, just be with the breath. Not wanting to change anything, just allowing it to be. And then moving to the upper back, to the shoulder blades, up to the shoulders, and exploring this area, being with it as it is, noticing how it is, and being aware perhaps of any tension that we're holding in the shoulders, an area that many people find feels tense or sore or even painful at times. So just being with it, allowing the breath to focus in on the upper back and the shoulders. Allowing that out breath to perhaps release some muscle tension, just a little bit each time that breath is released. And from the shoulders, moving down the arms into the hands. We might like to visualize our arms and hands in our mind's eye, or we might like to just be with the sensations that we can detect in the arms and hands. Just exploring what you can feel. Any tingling, any sensations of warm or cold. A sense of the stillness of our limbs. And just allowing that out breath to create some release, some letting go. And returning to the breath whenever we need it to keep ourselves present, and to not worry if our minds have wandered at any point during this practice. That's entirely natural. Our minds do wander, it's what they do. So just bringing yourself gently back to the practice whenever that happens. It doesn't matter how many times it occurs. Just to bring ourselves back is the important thing. And so we're going from the hands and arms back up the shoulders and into the neck and the back of the head, and exploring the neck and the back of the head, seeing what this area is like right now, whether it feels tense or relaxed, just being with it. Allowing that in-breath to help us to focus on this part of the body, and the out-breath being that very natural letting go. And then moving from the neck and the back of the head to the face, and we're going to do a scan of the face, starting with the forehead, focusing in on the forehead, just allowing that out breath to let go of any tension in the muscles of the forehead, and to the eyes and the muscles around the eyes, just allowing them to relax. And moving down to the jaw, just checking how that feels right now, and allowing that out breath to be a natural letting go of any tension in the jaw, to allow the face to be relaxed as much as it can be right now. And now we're going to finish this body scan by doing a scan of the whole body. So we're going to take our attention back to our feet and work our way up, just very briefly, going through all the different parts of the body that we've just explored: the feet, the legs, the back, the arms, the hands, the shoulders, the neck, the head and the face. Just being with the breath moving through the entire body, and then just staying with the natural breath for the last couple of minutes of this practice. And if you want to lie for longer or sit for longer when this practice ends, then just be with the breath, very naturally coming and going for as long as you want to. So if you want to leave the practice here, This is the end of the body scan.